that people are starting to join us already, which is great. I also want to make sure that all the social media is kicking in, and that sometimes takes a little time, and today's going to be one of those times. Wow, we are building an audience very, very quickly. So I'm hoping that that social media is kicking in, and it is. Wow. You know, sometimes things are just kind of magical. Anyway, thank you for joining me this evening. Welcome to the show. It's Michael O'Connor for Carroll's Jewelers. And I am glad you are with me for this evening, because we've got some incredible values for you in this show. I thought that this week I would kind of change up the background a little bit. So you are in my library. Sounds very important, right? Those are all these books. I actually have read most of them. Anyway, welcome in. And everything seems to be working. Everything seems to be going fine. Luke says hello to everybody. Luke is one of the proprietors of Carroll's Jewelers. As I said, this show is for Carroll's Jewelers. And if you're not familiar with Carroll's Jewelers, let me give you a little background. Carroll's Jewelers has been in business for almost a century. As a matter of fact, they have been in their same location on Las Olas Boulevard, which is downtown Fort Lauderdale, for over 60 years. That really tells you that you are dealing with a store that has a tremendous amount of trust, a tremendous reputation for quality, for sincerity, and for just doing what's right, also for fabulous jewelry. Thank you for whoever is sending me those hearts. Some of you have already figured out how to do this. I do have to tell you every week that I am compensated to do this, and I am going to tell you a little bit about the platforms you're watching on, because people are watching all the way from TikTok, they're watching on Instagram, they're watching on Carroll's Jewelers. Thank you for the hearts. And also you're watching me on my Facebook. If you are watching me on my Facebook, which is Michael O'Connor's Style, I will get to your comments after the show. Unfortunately, I will not see them. However, in the posts that I did about this show and in the event post, there is a link. I would encourage you to go to that link and come to this platform. And the reason is, you see on the bottom of your screen, I think you can see that Luke said hello, and we can interact. Like whoever is sending me those hearts, we can, of course, you'll be able to shop, you'll be able to do everything. But if you want to stay on my Michael O'Connor Style Facebook page, that's fine. You don't have to come here, not a requisite. But if you want to have some fun, I think we should. Anyway, if you are watching me on Instagram, there is a number over my head. If you put that number into your chat box, Instagram will direct message you or DM you a link, and you'll be able to see everything in the show. And finally, if you are on this platform, which I hope you are, then what I will tell you is that you will see not only me, not only fabulous jewelry coming up, like this piece here, by the way, but you are going to see a series of icons down the right-hand side. And those icons are all great tools for you. You're also going to see over my head a piece of jewelry, and that is, I don't know if that's the first piece in the show. It may be, but we will figure that out shortly. So the icons down the side here, there is a top one, which is a heart. Somebody already knows how to work it. If you like something I'm saying, click that heart button and I will see all kinds of hearts come up. I'll know that you like something and I'll be able to spend a little time on it, or else maybe delve into the piece a little bit more. I'm Sherry. Thank you for being here. I appreciate it. Sherry set her alarm to be with us this evening. So big hand for Sherry. Thank you, Sherry. I appreciate it. Next down is the shop button. That shop button is truly a great tool for you. Why? Because if I'm going too fast, if I'm going too slow, you'll be able to control your own show, and you'll also be able to shop at your own leisure, and you'll be able to see all kinds of things. So hit that shop button and everything will come up in the show. I'll diminish down when you're ready for me to come back. Just click on me and click on my face. I think it's still my face. And I'll come back up, but you'll be able to still hear everything, I believe. So click that shop button and you'll see everything in the show. Next down is 3 little dots. Those 3 little dots, I always tell people every single week that I love when my friends share great things with me. And that allows you to share this program on your social media, and we would love that. And not only that, your friends will like you, maybe even a little bit more than they already love you, because you'll be sharing wonderful values with them. And finally, like Sherry, who knows how to do this, like Luke, who knows how to do this, along the bottom, there is a dialog box. Simply put in your name, tell me where you are watching the show from. That would be great. If you have any questions, you can ask me questions. You can tell me to turn a piece over. You can, I don't know, you can do all kinds of stuff. You can ask me any question. Anyway, and I think that is it. If you get that dialog box going, then you'll be able to interact with me, and I would love that. So let's get on to the very first piece of the show, which is, oh, by the way, let me just tell you a little bit about the show. I told you I would. We have pieces basically ranging anywhere from under $40. Yes, jewelry under $40, all the way up to $1,100. And we've got some great discounts for you too, because there are discounts also up to $1,100, which is going to be incredible. Thank you for those hearts. So let me take you on a tour of the first piece. First of all, you need to think back in your mind to centuries and centuries ages ago, about probably 6,500 years ago, when this gemstone was discovered. And this gemstone, which is lapis lazuli, was actually felt that it was the stone of the gods. It is that gorgeous, rich blue color. It's been treasured for, as I said, over 6,500 years. The name lapis lazuli actually comes from a Persian word. Thank you, Luke. Luke just changed and put this piece up. Luke is the producer of the show and proprietor of Carroll's Jewelers. So lapis lazuli takes the name from a Persian name, and that Persian name means heaven. And so you can absolutely see how this gorgeous, gorgeous blue color would make somebody feel like they are in heaven. Some quick facts about this. Actually, lapis lazuli has been found. It is, if you've ever seen the King Tut exhibit, the face mask of King Tut actually had inlay of lapis in it. Some of the Russian crown jewels and the Fabergé pieces had gorgeous lapis lazuli in it. When Cleopatra wanted to wear eyeshadow, they used to grind up lapis lazuli so that she could wear blue eyeshadow. And I believe, don't quote me on this, but I believe that for many, many years, when they were making paint, that they actually used ground lapis in there. So here you have this gorgeous bracelet. The cost here is $39. As I said, we had some pieces under $40. This is a Carroll's everyday value. What does that mean? Well, Carroll's has specific pieces that they have every single day, and those pieces are at everyday great values. This is one of them. It is $39. It is a beautiful bracelet. You are seeing all of the gorgeous colors of lapis here. It is intersected by these gold-plated beads. This is that kind of bracelet that everybody's wearing these days. I don't know whether you're watching the red carpets or whether you're just watching the kids out playing, because I'm going to tell you, every single age group loves this type of bracelet. It is done on a cord. The cord works in this way. This creates the clasp. It is something that will fit on most wrists. So if you have a larger wrist, you do not need to worry. $39 gets this home. The larger wrist, no, not a problem whatsoever. It just slides on. Now this clasp, let me just show you how this works, because this is kind of ingenious. All you need to do, you see this center section here. This center section actually acts as a little bit of a keeper. And so when you pull the cord on either side, it will make this shorter. And when you want to make this longer, all you really need to do is hold onto that little piece and pull the bracelet in the opposite directions. When you put this on, you are going to slide this over your hand. Very, very simple to do. And then what you are going to do is you're going to hold that little area, and then you are going to gradually pull those two little knots out from that piece. And that will tighten the bracelet. What that means to you is that you'll be able to wear this pretty much at any length you want. So if you do have shorter wrists, if you have smaller wrists, you can absolutely make it so that it fits on you. As I said, every single person that I know has one or two of these bracelets. Now at Carroll's Jewelers, as I said, this is an everyday value for $39, and it does come in other gemstones. I would encourage you that if you like this bracelet, but you say, you know what, perhaps I would like it in red. Maybe Carroll's has it in red. You can actually just call them in the store. 954-463-3711 is the telephone number. You can write to them at www.carrollsjewelers.com, and they can let you know what other colors that they have. $39 for this great piece. If you love the idea of ancient civilizations, if you love the stories that I was telling you about Cleopatra using this as eyeshadow, or the fact that this has been in collections of kings for centuries and centuries, this is truly a beautiful piece for you to actually own and take home and really, really enjoy. If you're giving it as a gift, remember, $39 is the cost of it. So it's going to be something that I think that you will be able to give somebody beautifully. It will come in a nice presentation box. If you do get it home and you say for any reason, hey, you know what, not quite what I was expecting, Carroll's Jewelers for 60 days will take this back as long as it comes back in the original condition, original box, and with its original tag. So it's kind of like a no-brainer. Under $40. Think about that. I will tell you that most people I know spend over $40 every single week on coffee. If you're buying that fancy coffee, you're going to spend way, way more. But the fact is that this is going to be something that is going to be great for you to wear. It works great when it's stacked up with other bracelets. I'm going to pull my bracelet down here so that you can see. Look how beautifully it works with that bracelet. You can stack it with your watch. I really do think that the color is beautiful. As a matter of fact, look how gorgeous it works. This jacket is purple. It's got just a touch of blue, a little blue stripe. This is a really, really beautiful piece. And when you think about lapis lazuli, for having been around for literally over 6,500 years, the name actually means heaven. And I think that this would be a beautiful gift to give somebody, or a beautiful self-reward. Under $40. Hit that shop button and get this home. And as I said, if you do want to see if it comes out in any other colors, just simply call the store, 954-463-3711. I'm sure that Luke will put that number into the chat so that you can actually call the store and it will be there for you. Because I know I'm not really quick with numbers, so yeah, I'm going to repeat the number actually again. 954, which is the area code for Fort Lauderdale, 463-3711. This gorgeous lapis lazuli piece, I'm going to put it down now, and we're going to move on to the next piece in the show, which is a gorgeous ring. So let me just put this down and see if I can't find the ring. There it is. Save Luke a little bit of work from having to do that for me. Okay, so this next ring is truly, thank you for whoever is sending me those hearts right now. This next ring is really unusual. It's something that you don't often see, and that is a gray beryl. Beryl is a member of the same gemstone mineral as emerald, as aquamarine. But here you have this almost beautiful white color. It has a slight tint, almost no tint whatsoever, and then it has black diamonds going down. I'm going to take this off there, and I'm going to take that ring off my finger, so I'll give you a little bit more information about this piece. This is item number 1300344, and normally in the store it retails for $2,100. Wouldn't this make a perfect engagement ring? Tonight, you can actually take $1,050 off of that. So you're getting 50% off of this. $1,050, you are getting a gorgeous precious gemstone. This is a member of the beryl family, which is the same gemstone mineral as emerald and aquamarine and morganite. So this is truly a prized gem material. This has that gorgeous, gorgeous white color. As a matter of fact, I'm going to tell you that years ago in the 1700s or the 17th century Italy, when they first started to make glasses, people for people to wear to correct vision, what they actually did is they actually made the first lenses from beryl. And the reason for that is that they did not have glass that was at the time that was clear enough. All glass had little bubbles in it, but with a gemstone material like this, it could be clear enough to be made into the very first lenses. Actually, I'm going to take that back. That's not 17th century. That's the 13th century. So 13th century, they were making glass lenses out of this. It is beautiful. As I said earlier, it would make a beautiful engagement ring. I'm going to take you on a little bit of a tour. There is the center, which is a gorgeous square cut. It is a step cut. So what that means is the facets are fewer, they are longer. It is a gemstone that has a lot of durability. It is a 7.5 and 8 on the Mohs hardness scale. The center gray beryl is 1 carat, 34 points. Look at the shine that you're getting off of that. And then you have black diamonds going down the side. This, by the way, is a very, very popular treatment that a lot of people are doing for engagement rings right now. It's called a split shank. So this has that gorgeous square cut in the center. I'm sorry, maybe is that clear for you? Yeah, there we go. I needed to move my face out of the shot. And then down the side, you have 20 black diamonds. The black diamonds alone are 2 carats, 25 points in total weight. So you have 20 of them, 10 on either side. Then you have that center beryl. I just love the way this shines. I love the way this plays with the light. It does have a gorgeous, gorgeous feel to it. If you were looking for something that as an engagement ring and you said, you know what, I wanted to have a nice size diamond, but you couldn't afford that, this would make a great, great look because this has a beautiful size to it. As I said, the center is 1 carat, 34 points. It is a precious gem, and I'm going to give you a little bit of a measurement here. So this is a 1/4 inch by a 1/4 inch. So this is not small or diminutive by any means. It just happens to look smaller because of my hands. But I will tell you, this is beautiful. And also, if you love the idea of an updated engagement ring, so many people these days for their engagement rings are starting to wear colored gemstones or gemstones that have a little bit more meaning to them, something that is a little bit more unusual. Again, so if you love the idea of having something that's a little bit more unusual, but yet very, very fashionable, you've got that gorgeous, gorgeous black and white. And I do, as I say, I really love the light play here with that beryl. It has a gorgeous light play. And then you get all of that refraction and all of that reflection, I apologize. Reflection from the black diamonds. 2 carats, 25 points in black diamonds. The ring is in 10 carat white gold. What that means to you is that we all know that gold comes in various carat weights. So you get 18 carat, you get 14 carat, you get 10 carat. 10 carat is the hardest and the most durable because of the alloys that are mixed with it. It gives that gold extra durability, extra strength. So if you are someone who's thinking of using this as an engagement ring, remember, you've got a fairly hard stone in the center. You've got black diamonds on the side. Again, another hard stone. You have a mounting that is 10 carat white gold. You are getting gold. And everybody knows that the price of gold has gone crazy these days. That 10 carat means that it's going to have that little bit of extra durability, that little bit of extra whiteness, that little bit of extra strength that is going to allow you to wear this every single day without ever having to worry. Again, the price here is $1,050. You are getting 50% off of the original price. In the store, this was $2,100. So this is a great opportunity for you to have something that is truly unusual. By the way, If you do love this idea and you say, you know what, $1,100 is a considered purchase, I will tell you, hit the shop button, put this into your basket, and that what you will be able to do is go through the process of buying it. You don't have to buy it. Of course, I hope that you do, because it really is a beautiful piece. But what you can do is you can select what they call the affirm option. That affirm option will allow you to spend this, pay this out over time. So you will get this home right away. You'll be able to start to enjoy it. You'll be able to start to enjoy all of the sparkle, all of the brilliance. But with that affirm option, you'll be able to pay for it over time. So you'll be able to put the payments out over a couple of months or a few months. I don't know exactly how long. You're going to have to put this into your cart to find out exactly what those payments will be. But if you love the idea of having something that is a little bit more unusual, I would encourage you to take a chance on this. It really is, I think, in my opinion, one of those pieces that you will absolutely be thrilled by. And it's not something that you just can only wear as an engagement ring. I think this is something that you can wear literally for a fashion piece. It would look great on the middle finger. It would look great on the forefinger. I always tell people, my grandmother loved a pinky ring, and she used to have a very big pinky ring. So this would be a beautiful pinky ring, especially the fact that you've got the shoulders here with those gorgeous black diamonds. I'm going to take this down and we're going to move to the next piece, which is a very, very pretty pair of earrings. Meanwhile, I'm going to put that ring back on my finger just so that you know that it's here. This is a great fashion piece. It's coming up at the end of the show, so don't forget about that. So now let's talk about the pieces that are above my head. And again, if you wanted to go back to that ring, hit that shop button and you can literally shop everything that I've already talked about. If you joined us a little bit late, you'll be able to take advantage of taking a look at some of the things that we had prior to this point right now. So feast your eyes on this great pair of earrings. This pair of earrings is a David Yurman. Now, if you are a collector of jewelry, if you've been looking at jewelry for a long time, you know that David Yurman is a designer. He is a current designer. He's been working with these materials, which is sterling silver and gold, for probably, I think, since the 70s or 80s. This is his classic, almost like a cable feel. What you're looking at is two carats, two round blue topaz. Blue topaz is also the birthstone for December. So if you are a December baby, like me, you know, I grew up and it was always turquoise. And I was like, at the time, I really didn't like turquoise. And I always said, I wish that December would have a birthstone that had some sparkle to it. And then they decided that blue topaz was going to be that particular color. This is a great pair of earrings. In the store, normally $595. Tonight, you're going to take $200 off of these, so they're going to be $395. A nice size earring sitting up on the ear. There is no dangle to this whatsoever. They are done with a post and butterfly back. I'm going to put this down for a second, and I'm going to take this off so I can show you the back of these earrings and maybe give you a little bit more of a guided tour. Okay, so here is the earring. There is the post. There is the side of the earring. As I said, this is David Yurman's signature cable kind of feel. I want you to see the detail on the back of these earrings. I will also tell you that I always look on the back of earrings because this is kind of like the hidden sign. When you look at the back of a piece of jewelry, what that tells you is the amount of care that went into the making on the front. So the designer really did not have to add those hearts, didn't really have to add that gallery around the back, but absolutely did, because this pair of earrings is that very high-end designer feel. This is an estate piece, and you are getting it for $395. Remember, if you are a collector of David Yurman pieces, this, by the way, this is all sterling silver. This is 14 karat yellow gold in the bezel that is surrounding the gemstone. I will tell you that this is a great way to set gemstones, because when you have a bezel all the way around, it basically It protects that stone because you're not just looking at 3 or 4 prongs. It is actually surrounds the stone entirely. It protects the stone from any chipping, any damage on the edge. And not only that, it helps keep the stone extremely, extremely secure. This is a beautiful pair of earrings. As I said, very simple, very elegant. If you are a collector of fine pieces of jewelry, if you are a designer collector, I will tell you that if you were to shop in the stores out there, you may not see this piece ever again. This is an estate piece, so this is something that you may not ever see again. And if you do see it, you may not ever see it again for a price of $395. I just think that this piece is so incredibly beautiful. Blue topaz is also, as I said, it is the birthstone for December, but if you are into symbolism, it symbolizes wisdom, it symbolizes abundance. It is, I think, a beautiful, beautiful stone, and I'm very happy that it is now the birthstone for December, because all of those December babies out there who want to have a little bit of sparkle, you can absolutely do that. I'm going to take this down and we're going to move on to the next piece, which is a pendant. One last time on this, remember, this is $395. Authentic David Yurman, sterling silver, 14 karat gold, and 2 gorgeous blue topaz in the center. So let's just take that down right now, and we will move on to the next piece. If you are someone who loves the sea, or if you know someone who loves the sea, this is, I think, the quintessential piece. Or if, we are in summer right now, so if you're into boating, here you have a beautiful ship's propeller. This is done in sterling silver. This is 22 karat gold vermeil here. You're looking at gemstones. This here is an iolite. And then you have a blue topaz in the center, just like the piece that I just showed you. So again, December babies, if you love that idea, this is a ship's propeller. Now, interestingly enough, if you look at this iolite here, which has a gorgeous, that beautiful deep sea color, the fact is that years ago, there's a legend that the Vikings used to use when they were on the sea, and they wanted to, if it was a cloudy day and they couldn't figure out the direction of the sun, they used to use a very thin slice of iolite to locate the sun, because that would help them with their compass. That would actually help them. So if you are somebody who really loves the sea, this is a beautiful, beautiful piece to have. Sterling silver, blue topaz, and iolite there. All of them have connotations of the sea. Now, I want to take this off. This is on a beautiful box chain. I'm going to take this ring off again. This is on a beautiful box chain. I love a box chain because a box chain gives you that little bit of extra sparkle. It also has a little bit of extra strength. The length on this chain is 18 inches. I'm going to show you the clasp. There is the spring ring clasp. So if 18 inches would sit, actually I'm going to just put it on. Hopefully I can put this on. We shall soon find out. But it really is a great length, 18 inches. Can I? Nope. Sometimes it's a little difficult to do like this. There we go. Let's try it again. And there we go. Okay, so this is where 18 inches is going to sit on me. So if I have a 15.5-inch neck, by the way. So if you have a smaller neck, it might sit slightly lower. If you have a heavier neck, this would be great for a man. This would be great for a woman. As I said, that whole idea of being a seafaring person with a ship's propeller, with that iolite, with the beautiful symbolism and myth about the Vikings using it as part of their navigating instruments years ago during cloudy days to locate the sun. This would be a beautiful gift for somebody. Again, this is normally in the store. This is $200. It's 25% off, so you're taking $50 off. The cost is going to be $150. You are getting both the chain and you are getting the pendant. You are getting that beautiful blue topaz in the center right there. And you are also getting this gorgeous iolite here on the top. Again, that iolite, let me just show it to you, is the actual bale. You can see that it is a substantial bale. So if you said, I'd like to put this on a cord, make it a little bit more masculine, I'd like to put this on a piece of leather, you can absolutely do that. If you have a thicker chain, you could actually put that through there very, very easily. The iolite is done also with that bezel setting, which means that it is going to be protected all the way around the stone. It has a slight dome to it, not too much. And then, of course, you also have a bezel set blue topaz here. This, I think, is really a great gift for somebody, especially as we approach the summer, especially for somebody who really loves the boating life, somebody who really thinks that this would be, they want that seafaring kind of symbolism. I think this would be truly a beautiful gift. I also just love the look of it. This, I will tell you, because it has this drop here. So this drop is this is 1.25 inches from the top of the bale down. So this drop, when you wear it, is going to be very elongating because they're going to come down and it's going to give you that little bit of extra drop, which is going to be very elongating to the décolleté. And a beautiful, beautiful piece. $150. Blue topaz in the center, iolite at the top, 18-inch chain, beautiful sterling silver pendant. This is 22 karat gold plating around the iolite. And then, of course, sterling silver, that beautiful ship's propeller. I just love this. I think this is truly beautiful. So all of you Titanic lovers, this is a great, great memento for anybody who loves boating life, everybody who loves the summer. It is truly incredible. I am going to put this down. Remember, if I've gone past anything, just hit the shop button and everything will come up. Nobody is chatting tonight. This is unusual. I really love when you chat. So if you are watching and you have any questions, you don't have to have any questions. You can just say, hey, you know what? I like your jacket, Michael. Or, you know what? You talk too fast for me. Whatever you have to say, as long as keep it clean. So now let's talk about the next piece, which is a gorgeous ruby and diamond ring. I'm hoping that I get that correct. So this ring is a beautiful, beautiful piece. If you are going to use this as a fashion piece, if you're going to use this as a wedding band, if you're going to use this as an anniversary piece, this is truly a gorgeous, gorgeous ring. The price on this in the store is normally $895. This evening, you're going to take $200 off of it, so it's going to be $695. Now, what you are looking at here is 14 karat white gold. You are looking at 5 rubies, and you are actually, I think 6 rubies. 6 rubies. And you are looking at 5 diamonds across the top. If you are somebody who is a little hard on your jewelry, this is a great piece for you. Why? Because, of course, diamonds are a 10 on the Mohs hardness scale. That means that they are the hardest gemstone known to man. Right underneath that is corundum, which is what ruby is made out of. The mineral for ruby is corundum. Sherry says, beautiful, dainty ring. Thank you, Sherry. Thank you for chatting with me. And Luke says, it is a hot summer. Everyone is drinking sweet tea. They need some rubies to show off. This would be a great piece to just have on when you are sipping your cocktail and letting people have a gorgeous look at your ring. Remember, $695, you have taken $200 off of the price of $895. As I started to say, diamonds 10 on the Mohs hardness scale, the hardest gemstone, then ruby, which is corundum, which is 9 on the Mohs hardness scale. You should also know that sapphire and ruby are both comprised of corundum. If it is any color under the rainbow, it is actually classified as a sapphire: blue sapphire, yellow sapphire, pink sapphire, black sapphire, which we have coming up later on. But it has to be a very specific color of red in order for it to be classified as a ruby. And that's what makes rubies so incredibly special, because even within the mineral group, they are extremely, extremely finite and more rare. So you should also know that rubies, just FYI, have been mentioned, I think, 6 times in the Bible. They are a symbol of love. Damien, oh my God, the red color really stands out. Damien, thank you for being here and thank you for chatting with me. I really do appreciate that. The red color really does stand out. I love the idea of a ruby. You've seen rubies in tremendous amounts of crown jewels. The British crown jewels have rubies in them, as did the Russian crown jewels. I don't think there's almost any crown jewel out there that is not in with ruby. But what I love about this particular ring, by the way, this ring is a size 7. If you do not take a size 7, or you're looking for something that is a little bit larger or a little bit smaller, simply call the store, Carroll's Jewelers, at 954-463-3711. Speak to one of the representatives there. They can arrange to have this sized in your size or to get one in your size. It is an incredible piece, perfect as a pinky ring. You know, a lot of people are using bands as fashion pieces now. If you have a wedding band and you perhaps want to leave your engagement ring at home, and you want to say, you know, I still want a little sparkle, I would still want something there perhaps when you travel, this would be a great way for you to really dress up that wedding band. If you can afford it, and I realize that this may be, maybe a considered purchase, if you can afford it, I would say always buy 2 of these bands. If that's what you were going to do, put it on either side. It's going to really dress up that band beautifully. If you wanted to use this as a wedding band itself, it does not sit up too high, so it would probably sit very nicely underneath a diamond solitaire. You have 25 points of diamonds. As I said, you've got 5 diamonds, so each one of them is 5 points. 25 points of diamonds total weight. You've got 30 points of rubies total weight. So that is a total of 11 stones. And you've got a beautiful, beautiful look here. I'm going to put this down and move to the next piece. Really a beautiful piece. So do not miss out on that. And let me just move this over here. And we are going to switch gears a little bit, because if you love fashion, if you love that gorgeous kind of Asian feel, I will tell you, like that cinnabar. I love cinnabar. By the way, did you notice the color of the walls of my library are this gorgeous cinnabar color? We have this beautiful pendant now. This pendant is by a company, Belle Étoile. This is a substantial pendant. The retail price on this is $350, but tonight you're going to take $100 off, and that brings it down to $250. Now, I realize that the light here is probably making it look a little orange, and it does have that slight orange feel, but I think at least on my monitor from when I'm looking at this, it has that, it has a slightly orangey look with it. It does not. It's a little bit more, at least to my eye, it's a little bit more on the red side. This is all sterling silver. You've got 15 grams of sterling silver. This is why this is like a substantial piece. 15 grams of sterling silver. Then that sterling silver is etched, and this enamel is painted on by hand. This is hand-done enamel. This is done in Italy. The designer of this is called Belle Étoile. So if you are a collector of designer pieces, you will know that the Belle Étoile name. I do want to show you the back of this, because I want you to see, again, how beautiful these pieces are on the back. And I always say, the fact is, if the designer spent this much time on the back, imagine the care and time that they did for the front. I love this swirl pattern. It almost to me has a gorgeous Asian feel to it. I'm going to see if I can't measure this for you to give you a little bit of a measurement on the length. So you're looking at just about 1.25 inches drop here. It is not a flat pendant at all. It's got some dimension to it. As I said, it has some weight to it. 15 grams of sterling silver. If you've been following the price of precious metals these days, you know that gold is gone crazy, but silver, a lot of refiners now, they won't even take silver because they don't know exactly where it's going, but it is extremely, extremely high. This is an incredible value when you think about the fact that you're getting 15 grams of sterling silver with all of this beautiful hand-done enamel work. You've got some cubic zirconia here. I don't know if you'll be able to see that, but in these swirls, in some of the swirls, you've got cubic zirconia. So it's going to give you that little bit of extra sparkle. It is on an 18-inch chain. Look at this beautiful chain. And the chain has a significant lobster claw clasp. So this is going to be very easy for you to get on and off. 18 inches, again, that's going to sit right here. But the pendant is certainly, I want to show you the bail. If you wanted to dress this up in a different way, if you wanted to put this on a cord, if you wanted to put this onto a more substantial chain or a flat chain, you could absolutely do that. $250 gets this home. This is incredible. And while we have this up, I don't want to wait too long because I want you to see both of these pieces. I actually have the matching bracelet. So if you do love the idea of wearing suites of jewelry, things that are exact matches, I think this would be a great opportunity to own two beautiful pieces. I'm going to take this down in 1 second. And then I'm going to move on to the bracelet, but I just want you to see these together. Remember, the pendant with the chain, $250 this evening. So now I'm going to put this down and we are going to talk specifically about the bracelet. So let me put this down and bring up the bracelet. I hope that's the bracelet. Looks like the bracelet to me. Nothing could surprise me these days if I'm putting up the wrong thing, because the reality is that with allergy season, I have my contact lenses in, but I don't know, I can barely see my face. So when it comes down to a little bit of a little icon like that, it can be very difficult. So this is the bracelet. In the store, this is normally $850, but you're getting 50% off on this tonight. So you're taking $425, which means that this bracelet could be yours for $425. All sterling silver, just like the pendant that I was showing you. This is the pendant that matches it. If you've just joined us, we've moved from this pendant to this bracelet. So all sterling silver. This is all done with hand-painted enamel. It is that beautiful cinnabar color. It does have a slight orangey look to it, but it is a little, I believe, at least on my monitor, that it is a little bit more on that cinnabar color than it is orange. It is a hinged bangle. What that means is that you're not going to have to fight to get this over top of your wrist. You are going to simply press down on this little lever here, and the bracelet will come apart. And it has a little hinge here on the bottom. And it does have a spring. I want to show you the inside of this bracelet. Let me move my face. And you'll see, again, that beautiful workmanship that Belle Étoile is known for. This is all Italian enamel. Just think about, going to Italy and being in Rome or being in Florence, and you see all of these fabulously dressed women and with great, fabulous jewelry. And this is the kind of jewelry that you see. This is an Italian brand. This is Italian painted. This is all hand done, Italian enamel work. Sterling silver. By the way, you heard me talk a little bit about the price of silver. This is 40 grams. 40 grams of silver. This is a weighty bracelet. And again, you've got all of this beautiful workmanship here with the lever, the spring, all of the back work, and then it is totally enameled by hand. Then cubic zirconia set into these beautiful swirls, that gorgeous swirl pattern. And no matter where you turn it, No matter how this turns on your wrist, you are getting sparkle, you are getting brilliance, you are getting all of that gorgeous, gorgeous color. I think this is beautiful. As I said, if you are somebody who loves a matching set, I would definitely think about getting both of these pieces. Again, if you do love the idea, click that shop button, put these into your shopping cart, and literally you can check out the Affirm option. It will tell you how much this will cost you. You can spread this out over time, and you can actually start to have these pieces and wear them and enjoy them right now in the summer, because this is a hot color for the summer. Thank you for who is ever sending me those hearts. I appreciate them. And again, a gorgeous, gorgeous piece, a gorgeous set, and hand-done enamel work, beautifully set with cubic zirconia, so you get a little bit of sparkle, you get a little bit of brilliance, and then all of this gorgeous work inside, incredibly easy to wear. You can simply just unhook this, and it will fit over your wrist, and it won't fit over my wrist, and it's an average size, by the way. So, I mean, I could clasp it, but it would be incredibly uncomfortable for me to get off. So, but an average size wrist. If you love this idea, Sherry says that this is beautiful. She loves bracelets. This would be a great stackable, Sherry. If you have other bracelets and you wanted to give it that little pop of color, that little, if you're going to wear something unusual, let's say you're wearing all white in the summer, maybe you accessorize that with, all of these gorgeous bracelets, and this is your pop of color. This would be a great pop of color, especially on a group of stacked bracelets. I really think that this is an incredible value when you think that you're getting for $425 all of this work, 40 grams of sterling silver, and all of this beautiful handwork in this bracelet. I'm going to take this down and we're going to move on to the next piece in the show, which is a gorgeous tanzanite ring. So let me put this down. Whoops. And so this tanzanite ring, what did I do with it? Here it is. This tanzanite ring is an estate piece. So this is a one of a kind. This is something that if it goes, you will not be able to get it again. This is truly a gorgeous piece. I love the way this is done. Sherry says that the room you are in is oh, thank you, Sherry. This room actually was featured years ago on HGTV as my favorite room. It is my library. So I love being in here. It's just so nice and absolutely cozy. And again, this color, by the way, is very similar to my wall color, although this is kind of shadowy up here. You can't really see this, but this is an incredible, incredible color. I love this color. Thank you for the compliment. I appreciate it. So this tanzanite ring is, as I said, it's an estate piece, so we cannot get this again. It is a fairly small size. This is a size 5.5, so I will not be able to put it on, but I want to show it to you up close. What you're looking at here is a fancy tanzanite. This is a trillion shape. What that means is the trillion shape is a three-sided shape. It's like a soft triangle. Tanzanite is, if you are not familiar with tanzanite is an incredible stone. Basically, it was really only discovered and made popular in the 1960s, and Tiffany and Company actually named tanzanite. They were the first ones to really have tanzanite and see the true beauty in it. It is only found in one place on Earth, and that is in a narrow strip of land around the base of Mount Kilimanjaro in Tanzania. There's tanzanite, and so that's what it's known for. The stone is a pleochroic stone. So what that means is that when it is viewed in different directions, and depending upon the light and depending upon the cut, it can look a little bit more purple. It can look extremely blue. It can look almost like a violet color. You have a 40-point tanzanite here, and then you have 3 diamonds. These diamonds kind of wrap around this beautiful tanzanite and come down the side. What I do love about this is, first of all, you do have 10 points. So you've got 10 points of diamonds, you've got a 40-point tanzanite here. What I love about this particular design is you see how it kind of wraps around and then it comes up the finger. I mean, you could wear this, by the way, I put it that way, but you could wear it, actually I would suggest wearing it this way, because when you wear it this way, this will sit a little bit further up on the knuckle and it will give you that longer, leaner look that so many people want in their jewelry. So, as I said, a really beautiful piece. It is an estate piece, and currently it is a size 5.5. If you decide that you would want this in another size, Carroll's Jewelers can do that for you, because you'll be able to actually size this piece, because as I said, this is a one-of-a-kind piece. This is not something that they have 5 or 6 of in stock. This is something that they would have to have sized. Just speak to them in the store, 954-463-3711, or go to carrollsjewelers.com and they will be able to help you with it. This is highly polished 14 karat yellow gold around the outside. Again, as I told you, the price here is $395, originally $595 in the store, so you're actually making a saving this evening of $200. I love the way that tanzanite is set up. I love the fact that this is rather asymmetrical, and I do love the fact that it can be worn this way on the finger. That's going to give that longer, leaner look, and I think that this is truly a beautiful piece. It is set up a little, I wouldn't want to say high, but it is set up a little. So it's set up from the finger just about 1/4 of an inch. But I do want you to see that the way the tanzanite is set, each one of the points of the trillion is actually protecting that little edge. Oftentimes, when you have a little point on a gemstone, especially in pear shapes, in trillions, anything like that, or marquise shapes, those points are really the weakest point of any stone, whether it's a diamond, whether it's a tanzanite, no matter what it is, because they're very, very narrow. So those little prongs set exactly like that. What that does is that gives you a little bit of extra protection, a little bit of extra security when you are wearing this. As I said, $395, 10 points of diamonds. You've got a 40-point tanzanite. As I said, tanzanite is a very unusual stone, only found in one place on Earth, pleochroic, and named by Tiffany. But the other thing about tanzanite, which is really interesting, excuse me one second, is that they say that tanzanite is what they're calling a one-generation stone. What that means is that it was only discovered and started to be worn in the 60s. They say that in the next number of years, as a matter of fact, they have already closed a number of tanzanite mines, but the tanzanite, they say they will not have the ability to mine it for years and years. It's not going to be like diamonds where they're going to be able to mine it for, centuries. So they are saying that this is a one-generation gemstone. And they have a whole campaign around that, as a matter of fact, that tells people how unique this is. Some people say that the tanzanite is actually more unique and more rare than a diamond itself. I just love a tanzanite stone. I have one that I really love, a beautiful ring done in tanzanite. And I do love the fact that, when you put it up against the blues, it picks it up. When you put it up against the purples, it picks up all of those great colors. Also a beautiful violet color. I'm going to give you a close-up right here. And then we are going to move on to the next piece. So I'm going to put this down because I want to spend some time on the next two pieces. Remember, this is literally an estate piece, one of a kind. By the way, if I've gone too fast and you want to see something back in the show, just literally click that shop button. You'll be able to see everything in the show. And we are going to move on now to an amazing pair of earrings. If you just simply love history, if you love sapphires, if you love diamonds, if you want a piece of jewelry that you will be able to wear literally every single day because they are not too large, but a piece of jewelry that is going to have all of the sparkle, because I want you to see this. Look at this. This is an incredible, incredible piece. What you are going to see here are sapphires and diamonds. This is all done in 14 karat white gold. These sapphires are done in what is known as an invisible setting. Invisible setting is something that basically Van Cleef and Arpels started to make this particular setting very, very popular in the 30s. And there was a whole rush to market with that between three big names in the jewelry industry: Chaumet, Van Cleef and Arpels, and Cartier. Because the way they set this, it's called invisible setting. There are no prongs in here. What they do, I'm trying to give you a very, very close-up look, is that each one of these beautiful gemstones is square cut. So you have the beautiful square cutting, and the edge has a little bit of a notch, kind of called it. So the edge of the stone is called the girdle. The girdle has a little indentation sawn into the girdle, and then it is pushed into a mesh. So that mesh is what holds this in place. The benefit to you is there are no prongs. You have all of the sparkle of, look at this, you got 2 stones along the bottom, three. I mean, I'm looking at this backwards, but you have all of these gorgeous square stones and no prongs. It is beautiful and comfortable. It gives you all of that sparkle because you have a group of stones, each one of them with faceting. These are sapphires. Remember, that means that they are a member of the corundum family. They are 9 on the Mohs hardness scale, so they are very, very durable. Look at the sparkle that you are getting out of these. These earrings are done in a teardrop shape. And I'm going to show you about how they can be worn, because they can be worn a couple of different ways. You've got 1 carat 90 points in the sapphires here. And as I said, then you have diamonds. You've got 20 points total weight in diamonds, all done in 14 karat white gold. This earring can be worn, well, let me show you this first. So it can be worn this way, like in that classic teardrop shape, or it can be worn almost like that, which makes it look a little bit like paisley. And I love a paisley design. So you have the option of how you are going to wear it. It does have a classic butterfly and post back. And I want to show you this butterfly back. If you have trouble with your earrings, look at the size of that butterfly back. No problem holding on to those at all. No problem finding that butterfly. It is going to be secure. It is going to be a beautiful piece, and it has a little bit of a notch here. I'm going to put this back on here so that you can see. These earrings are normally in the store $2,200. Tonight, you are taking $1,100 off. It's the biggest discount this evening. 50% off, $1,100 off. So this is $1,100. $1,100, what you're getting is 14 karat white gold, 1 carat 90 points of sapphires, 20 points of diamonds, and all of this gorgeous, unusual, invisible cutting. I think that these are truly an amazing pair of earrings. An earring that you will not see yourself coming and going. They are unusual. They are chic. They are very elegant. Sit up on the ear. There is no drop to this whatsoever. And extremely, extremely elegant. As I said, it was in 1933 that invisible setting really started to be extremely popular. 3 of the most important jewelry houses in the world fought over the ability to do this and call it their own. Now, I'm going to put this down and we're going to talk about the last piece in the show. And I think that is it. And that's the piece that you saw me wearing at the beginning of the show. Now, I'm wearing this as a fashion piece. What you were looking at here is this is also an estate piece. It is all black sapphires. You've got 60 points of black sapphires here. The ring is a size 10. So it's a good size. It fits on my middle finger. This is another designer piece. This is from Effie. If you've been on a cruise ship, if you've been in the Caribbean, you know that Effie has stores all over the Caribbean. You know, I have several Effie pieces of my own. I really love it. You're looking at 18 karat yellow gold here on the edges with the beautiful symbol. You are looking at gorgeous black sapphires. Remember, as I said, sapphires and ruby are the same, but sapphires they're all corundum. And sapphires, when they're black, when they're blue, whether purple, no matter what color, it's always sapphire. But these are extremely durable. I love this piece as a great fashion piece. This would be perfect on a forefinger. This would make a great wedding band. The size on this right now is a size 10. If you wanted it short, if you wanted it made smaller, simply call them at Carroll's Jewelers, 954-463-3711, and speak to them, and you can absolutely have that. Look at the refraction that you're getting out of these. These are black sapphires, so they're actually like a very, very, very deep blue color. This ring is normally $895. It is $671.25 this evening. As I said, designer piece. There is a mark on the inside. I don't know if you are going to be able to see that, but while you're taking a look at that, look at the way those black sapphires sparkle. Incredible, incredible piece. Incredibly fashionable. A great band that is going to work for a wedding band or a fashion piece. Well, that was my show this evening. I hope you liked it. Damien, Sherry, Luke, thanks for chatting with me. I really appreciate it. Thank you for whoever was sending me all of those hearts. I'm going to be here next Thursday, so I hope that you will join me then. I hope you have a wonderful weekend and a beautiful, beautiful Friday. Thank you. Bye.